And now a word from the president of Gumby Nation. We shall pay any price, bear any burden, to assure the success of the New York Yankees. Let us never pitch out of fear, but let us never fear to pitch. I approve this message.
Before we get started, here's a few highlights from today's game.
And let's see if the Yankees can turn two. There's one. There's two. Swing and a miss. Correa down on strikes. 1-2. Grounded softly to third. Urshela gets Altuve, and Montgomery works out. Driven deep to left field. There it goes. See ya. Into the left field bleachers.
Yuli sends one deep to left field. This ball is off the wall. Correa heading to third. He's going to be waved around. Here comes a throw by Gardner. Cut off the relay in time to get Carlos. That ball's hit hard. That is going to be a fair ball down the line. That'll give the Astros their first lead of the night as Yuli Gurriel will score. Aledmys Diaz.
Pitch. Line drive down the left field line. It is a base hit. It'll go into the corner. Gardner score. An RBI double. And the game is tied at 3.
In his splits.
Punched out toward right field. On the run is Tucker. It's going to dunk in there for a base hit. Torres is being waved home. Here's the throw. It's cut off. Yankees lead 4-3. And there's a base hit to right field. Another RBI for Giancarlo Stanton. Continues to wield a magic wand.
Stick around for the post-game reaction, followed by an audience question and answer session. Don't forget to subscribe to the audio version of this podcast, The Freeze, by NYY Recaps. Before we get started, a quick word from our sponsor.
Support for NYY Recaps is brought to you by Manscaped, who are the world champions of below-the-waist grooming. Look, if you're using the same razor for your face that you're using on your bollocks, you're doing it wrong. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code NYY Recaps at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code NYY Recaps. Your bulls will thank you.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Hey Astros fans, 2 down, 1 to go. 2 down, 1 to go. The Yankees officially win the series against the Astros tonight, 6-3. Jordan Montgomery on the mound, and he was just good enough. So let me go through my notes here. If you missed the beginning, we had a appearance by President Carrot Funky Baller. That's what I'm calling the president of Gumby Nation. So before we get started, just a couple of notes on the minor leagues. Andujar and Luke Voit both hit home runs in AAA tonight. So those guys creeping back. Andujar was playing left field. Yankees didn't get much out of left field tonight. Gardner did have a sac fly, but not much more than that. Monty had an easy first 3 innings. He struck out the side in the second inning. Few base runners, but the Yanks turned DPs in the first and third innings. Their defense has been great. They're playing with fluidity. They're playing with tenacity. They're playing great right now. Total turnaround from what we saw when they were 5-10. Bottom of the third, Giancarlo Stanton. Stanton the Manton extends his hitting streak to 11 games with a monster home run, 435 feet, 107 off the bat, 2-run shot right after DJ LeMahieu gets drilled. So way to pick up your teammate, Giancarlo. You get the charge for that. Top of the fourth was a messy inning. There was some hard contact, but there was also some soft contact. The Astros go up 3-2. There was a great relay from Gardy to Urshela to throw out Correa at home. That was some solid fundamentals right there. Just hit the cutoff man and then make a solid throw home. Loved it. Top of the fifth, Monty settled back in. Astros went quietly. Bottom of the fifth, Gardy singled and Sanchez struck out on a comically bad pitch that wasn't even close to the strike zone. Gardy's single was just the second Yankee hit of the game at that point. And then Stanek comes up and in on Stanton, brushes him off, and he responds by ripping a double down the line. He gets pumped at second base. You love to see it. You love to see it. Top of the sixth, great shutdown inning for Jordan Montgomery. After your team scores, you want to come in and, shut down the other team, keep them from rallying, kind of stifle that offense. And when they don't know what pitch is coming, it's a lot easier to do that. Top of the seventh, Luis Cessa and Wandy Peralta look good. Astros go down quietly. Peralta has a great changeup. He's got a 96-mile-an-hour fastball and a really good changeup. So I can see what they saw in him. He was a little bit wild. He almost drilled somebody in the head. Also, he's a little pudgy. Do they not have treadmills in San Francisco? Anyway, we'll get him worked out. We'll get him figured out. Bottom of the seventh, DJ picks up a single. Stanton walks. Judge strikes out, and Urshela hits into a double play to end the Yankee threat. Top of the eighth, the Loaizaga K's Altuve, and the crowd goes absolutely berserker. It sounded like there was 57,000 people in there. It sounded like the old days at Yankee Stadium in the 90s when they were winning games late in the playoffs. It was so loud. Everyone in the stadium was screaming at the top of their lungs. That was amazing. Glaber and Ford combined for a nice play at shortstop. One thing that I saw somebody post on Twitter, and I don't know who it was, so if this was you and I didn't credit you, I'm sorry. Get a drink of water. Was that one of the reasons that Glaber's defense has been better, and this is true, is that you actually have a first baseman to pick the throws in the dirt right now. He's picked a couple of throws in the dirt, whereas Jay Bruce had no clue on balls in the dirt. Bregman bounces out to end the inning. Loaizaga's amazing. He's got a 0.98 ERA. Bottom of the eighth, Glaber picks up a single to lead off the inning, not trying to go deep, just picking up a base hit. Frazier walks, and then Hicks picks up an RBI bloop single to right field to put the Yankees up 4-3. And then sac fly from Gardy to make it 5-3. And then Stanton punches one through the right side. His third hit of the night. He was 3 for 4 with 4 ribbies, 314 on the night or on the season. Aaron Judge, though, 5 strikeouts tonight. The platinum sombrero. It was not pretty. It was not pretty. And then Chapman, bringing the heat in the ninth, picks up his 7th save. Nobody has a chance against Aroldis Chapman right now. Nobody. Tough luck, Astros.
Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
Yankees win this one 6-3.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Another big 3-hit night for Giancarlo Stanton. You're watching him on the screen right now. He's just locked in. He's as locked in as I've ever seen him. I'd imagine this is kind of what it was like in August of 2017 when he hit 18 home runs. He was on an amazing streak. When he gets red hot, he stays red hot. My big question, though, is Aaron Boone going to give him the day off tomorrow? You've got Garrett Cole on the mound. It's a day game after a night game, so you might want to get Judge off his feet and put him in right field, or you might just give Judge the day off and play Stanton at DH. I don't know. Do you go with the fan favorite or do you go with the hot hand? That's going to be an interesting decision. Do you put them both in there? Day game after a night game with your ace on the mound, hoping that if you can get a couple of runs, that Garrett Cole will shut it down. Yankees are going for the broom tomorrow. They're going for the clean sweep, baby. Also, this game reminded me, and if you don't mind, I'll take a break from the comments for a second. This game reminded me of a series against the Twins in 2009. When the Yankees hadn't been playing great, A-Rod started the season on the injured list. Back then it was called the disabled list. He comes back in May. The Yankees kind of heated up a little bit. Mark Teixeira, who had been slumping, starts hitting. The Yankees slowly coming out of it. And then they walk off the Twins in, I think, 3 or 4 straight games. And from there, man, the Yankees took off. They took right off. And their chemistry got built. The theme became walk-off hits for the whole season. And you never felt like they were going to lose when they were behind late in the game. The theme became Who Wants Pie? Nick Swisher or A.J. Burnett would put pie on or whipped cream or shaving cream on a towel and just smash it on somebody's face after they were being interviewed for getting a walk-off hit. And so that's, this is the type of thing that builds chemistry. The Yankees sweeping the Astros, if they can win tomorrow, will do a lot for this team's chemistry. It will go a long way for this team's chemistry. On the flip side, if Garrett Cole doesn't get it done tomorrow, it's going to be kind of a letdown. It'll be kind of a, send you into an extended break between, the end of your game tomorrow and the next day. It's not a day game on Friday, so the Yankees have to wait a little bit longer. And that tension can kind of build up a little bit. You just start, grinding your teeth. So let's hope that Garrett Cole can come out tomorrow and just dominate, just set the Astros down and send a message. Unpopular opinion, says Benjamin Anderson. Play Judge cleanup without Voit here. So put somebody else behind Giancarlo Stanton for the next few days. I don't know. I mean, it was one bad game. Judge has been pretty good so far this season, but Stanton is on fire. He's just crushing it. I don't think it matters who you put behind him. I like having Judge behind him to give him that protection. And Stanton, I think, if you just throw it anywhere near the strike zone, it doesn't matter who's behind him right now. He's locked in. He's unconscious, as David Cohn said. Micah19641 says they were both just off Monday. They should both play. We'll see. They're not old men. They should be able to play. By the way, speaking of old, my dog Cece today, named after Cece Sabathia. Also, her real name's Cat Chaser, but kind of named after Cece, not a Cece. Her back legs gave out a little bit today when the doorbell rang. She couldn't get up. She's struggling a little bit tonight, so keep Cece in your thoughts. She's 9 years old, so she's getting up there. Gonna have to bring her to the vet. So somebody says, hey, Derek, what do you think of Torres' swing lately? I realize he is not falling over the plate. He says he's one of the best players in Connecticut. In fact, I want a copy. I don't know what that says. I think his swing looks pretty good right now. He's not driving the ball, but he's keeping it a lot more level. He's keeping the swing level through the zone. He's making more contact. He did pop up a couple times tonight. Looked like he was swinging a little bit too hard. Hey, we got 597 people on the screen. People are hyped about this game. People are hyped to beat the Astros. The Yankees officially have taken this series from the Astros. Doesn't even matter what happens tomorrow. I would like to win. A sweep is pretty much the only acceptable thing to me right now. But you won the series. So mission accomplished in the minds of the Yankees, probably. So also, Victor Arena says, say it with me, Hicks is a righty. So Hicks did pick up a lefty double tonight. He did hit a base hit lefty last night. So he makes contact lefty. He's not a big threat left-handed right now. He has been in the past. He had that big home run off of Verlander in the playoffs a couple years ago left-handed. I just think that there's a problem with his leg kick. I think he's bringing that leg up too much. And as Paul O'Neill said on the broadcast, it causes your head to move. If you're too herky-jerky with that front leg and that front hip, it can cause your eyes to go up and down, right? And so I just think that's the issue. I think he'll get it straightened out. Look, Hicks, he hit 230 last season. He's a 220 hitter probably at this point in his career. He's not a great hitter. I didn't have so much of a problem with his offense tonight as I did in defense. There was a bloop to center field that LeMahieu was hauling ass and Glaber was hauling ass to try and track this ball down over second base. And Hicks didn't look like he was really turning on the afterburners to go get it. And it was probably his ball to catch. It was probably his play to make. Caleb Gefeller says, is Unhinged going live tonight? I heard Patrick and his team were going to Yankee Stadium. So they were at the game tonight, as was Yankees Avenue. Dan Rourke. They were all at the game tonight. I'm in North Carolina, though. That's why we probably have more people on the stream tonight than usual. But anyway, let's go through the comments a little bit more. Let me skip down to the bottom. Nick Hartong has a really good point. Hicks isn't even walking right now. Hicks, if you remember, even in spring training, he was walking a ton. And when he's right, he walks like once a game. I think he walked more than anybody on the team, maybe more than anybody in the American League last year. He's usually a really high on-base percentage guy, but when he's not hitting and he's not walking, well, then you got a problem. And I think pitchers are realizing that right now we can pitch to him left-handed. So they're pounding the zone, and they're just throwing change-ups and sliders and all sorts of nasty stuff, and he just can't do anything with it. Just can't do anything with it. Garrett says, do you think we will see Miguel Andujar in left? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because right now the Yankees are not getting much offense. I think you've given Clint Frazier sufficient time to get going. He's had a month. He hasn't done anything. He's had 2 home runs, but he's hitting 170, maybe 160. He's not hitting. He has played decent on defense. Gardner looks like he's washed up. He looked like he was washed up last year. And with the deadened ball, his new home run stroke is not cutting it. And so I think you're going to see Andujar. We need a guy who can hit singles, who can hit doubles. So, hey, look. Yankees win this one. I'm not going to spend too much time complaining. But I do think that we will see Miguel Andujar in left field. I also think we're going to see Luke Voit here pretty soon. Anthony Fernandez says 5Ks on Cinco de Mayo for Judge. Yeah, maybe too many margaritas before the game. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. He probably is stressing a little bit, pressing a little bit too much because he wants to, he wants to get revenge on the Astros. And I don't blame him. The Astros robbed him of a World Series appearance. Altuve robbed him of an MVP. But this is a team game. And luckily we have Giancarlo Stanton, who wasn't on that 2017 team, to carry us. And he's absolutely crushing it. Yankees highlights and entertainment says Judge is fine with one bad game. I agree. He's been fine all season. I'm not going to get mad. Giancarlo struck out 5 times in his first game at Yankee Stadium, and look what he's doing tonight. Sometimes guys strike out 5 times. It happens. It didn't used to happen a lot, but it can happen. This is a game where guys strike out a lot. He'll also have games where he doesn't strike out at all for 2-3 games in a row. You get hot, and you go through peaks and valleys as a professional athlete. That's just how it goes. Chris Ann says, can Florial replace Hicks? Let's see how Florial does for a couple of weeks. Let's see how he does. I wouldn't be opposed to a platoon, but I don't know where you're going to squeeze another outfielder in. They just traded Tauchman. I think the Yankees felt like they were too outfield heavy. I don't think they want to get rid of Hicks. I think they like Hicks. They're committed to him for 5 more years at $50-something million. Brave Reputation says, can we get a Johnny Lasagna? When I say Johnny, you say lasagna. Johnny. And now I'll just read the comments in 5 minutes when they say lasagna. I wanted to remind everybody to download the Freeze, Frieze, off of Apple Podcasts. I still can't find it on Spotify. I don't know what the hell the problem is with Spotify. I don't get it. It should be up. I still don't see it. Mike Prince says, play Stanton in the field. Our outfield depth is poor. I think they want to keep him right where he is at DH. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Hey, Ruben Cruz, thanks for the dono. Let's get with the dono hype. Judge will be fine. Last guy to worry about. I agree with you. So, okay, guys, I'm going to call it a night. I appreciate everybody who joined. If you haven't subscribed yet, please like and subscribe. Yankees win this one. Day game tomorrow. I may or may not be able to hop on for a live episode. I'm going to go into work early tomorrow. And so I'll try and work through as much as I need to get done so that way after the game I can hop on and do a post-game. Probably won't have as robust of a show tomorrow, but we'll see. I'll do my best. I will see you guys tomorrow. Yankees win this one 6-3.